Hi my friends, today I'm in the suburb of Ouled Fayet, some 19 kilometers southwest of Algiers, of the city of Algiers I mean, and it's a suburb, it's one of the suburbs of the western suburbs of Algiers, and we are going to drive to the neighborhood of Ben Aknoun, which is in the upper parts of Algiers. So Ouled Fayet is some 300 meters above sea level, and in fact it's not very far from the seashore, it's not very far from the coast. The neighborhood that separates Ouled Fayet from the coast, from the Mediterranean coast in northern Algeria, is Sharaga. It's Sharaga, okay? Which is another suburb and neighborhood of Algiers, huge one. And well, Ouled Fayet is located in what used to be a very rural area. In fact, it was just a village in colonial times. It was founded in the middle of the 19th century as a village, a colonial village. And I think that it kept its name, Ouled Fayet, because usually French colonizers, French settlers would give their own names, their own European or French names to villages, or to the towns and villages they occupied. But you know, they would exceptionally leave indigenous names. That's it. But when Algeria got its independence, it automatically removed all French names, because the French, you know, colonized this country for their own interests, to serve their own interests, and they shared almost nothing with the local indigenous people, with us, with Algerians, okay? And worse than that, they killed lots of Algerians, they deprived millions of Algerians from their lands. They killed hundreds of thousands of Algerians, and they also, you know, repressed Algerians during the Liberation War, fought between 1954 and 1962. So when the Algerians decided to, you know, to settle all their old scores with the French colonizers, the French, you know, committed all sorts of atrocities against the Algerians to try and dissuade them from, you know, gaining their independence and keeping Algeria all to themselves. Anyways, so Ouled Fayet, as you can see, is now a municipality. It became a municipality. Algeria gained its independence in 1962, and Ouled Fayet became a municipality in 1984, and now it has become a sprawling suburb. Okay, we are entering the center of the suburb here, but in fact this suburb is getting bigger and bigger with all the housing developments that the Algerian government and private companies are undertaking in order to resolve Algeria's chronic and ever-present housing crisis. Okay, so more and more apartment complexes are being built, together with all the development, the necessary urban development that goes with it. You know, urban centers, you know, parks and malls, shopping malls, and schools and universities, and all those structures that need to be developed around residential centers in order to make them, you know, livable and viable. Okay, so it's normal to, you know, run across traffic here in the center of a suburb, or even in the center of a village, practically, because now Algeria has lots of cars, hundreds of thousands of vehicles running on our roads. You know, there are people who say that, you know, every home in Algeria now has at least 2 cars. Okay, so that explains why traffic is present pretty much everywhere in Algiers, and in big cities, in Algerian big cities. Wherever you go, you would find traffic. And now I guess that this traffic is easing down, and this is how, you know, when I'm seizing the opportunity. Just look at this beautiful mosque here. It's being erected in the center of Ouled Fayet. This is the Ouled Fayet new mosque, and well, I guess that, you know, it's built in the place of a former or an older mosque that was demolished, and now we are beginning our journey or our trip, and you know, by leaving this town of Ouled Fayet. And by the way, the name Ouled Fayet literally means the descendants of Fayet, of a person named Fayet, okay? But you know, usually when you find a name starting with Ouled, this means it's you know, it's the faction of a tribe, okay? Because usually tribes here in Algeria are called or are referred to with the prefix Beni, okay? Sons of or children of, and in Berber or in Tamazight it's eighth or eight here in the north, in northern Berber, okay? And well, so when you hear the name, for example, Beni Messous, this means that, you know, there is a tribe, or there used to be a tribe that lived in the area where the suburb of Beni Messous is located today, with the name Beni Messous, okay? So the suburb of Beni Messous in northeastern Algiers is in fact named after a tribe known as the Beni Messous, okay? So this is the place of Ouled Fayet where you can see, from where you can see the neighborhood of Chiraga, okay? The neighborhood of Chiraga is just on the left, in the distance, of course, some 2 or 3 kilometers away. And well, it's a good place. Someday I will park my car here in order to film you the wonderful scenery one can see here around this place. And yes, so as I told you, usually when you hear a name starting with Beni or eight, I mean, it refers to the name of a tribe. And when you hear a name starting with Ouled, this means, which also means, you know, children of or sons of, you know, a person, and it refers to a faction of a tribe, okay? So tribes in the past used to be divided into factions, okay? Into various factions, and those factions would have names in Arabic that start with Beni. So the name of the tribe is Ouled, like is Beni, like Beni Messous, and the name of the faction of a tribe starts with Ouled, like Ouled Fayet, for example, okay? So now we have just left the town of Ouled Fayet, but we are still within the borders of its municipality, and we are going to join the main road that would eventually lead us to the highway, to the Banacrum highway. I'm stopping filming here. All right, so I stopped filming, but I took the left. When I arrived at that roundabout, I took the left. It's a little bit tricky to drive around here. I once got lost, and you know, because you would forget which direction to take, and there aren't many signs to, you know, to let you know that, you know, to indicate which direction you should take in order to go back to Algiers. And now we're taking the Algiers road, and we are headed to Ben Aknoun, okay? So this is the road that would lead us to the Banacrum highway. And there is beautiful nature here. We are in spring, April 10th, and everything is blossoming, everything is green. Just look at those trees, mainly eucalyptus and wild olive trees. It's so beautiful. And this is like, you know, an outlook or a foretaste of rural Algeria, in fact, because most of rural Algeria is like this, is beautiful, is as beautiful as you can see here, even more beautiful, of course. Just look at that olive tree on the right, possibly centuries old. And by the way, this area here, on the left, hosts a park, the Dounia Park, which is, I think, Ouled Fayet's main attraction. And the park is just made up of green spaces where people come and picnic and, walk and enjoy having some fresh air, exercise and jog, and they can even ride ponies, I think. I've never really visited it. I once brought because I had a friend who worked here who used to encourage me to visit it. I once took my son and we visited it, but it was still not really developed. Okay. Today is Saturday, and it's rather unusual to have traffic on roads like these. But traffic is omnipresent on regular weekdays. Okay, Park Dounia. This is the main entrance on the left, over there. There is parking space. You could park your car there, go and explore the park, okay? Someday I will film you a video about the park itself. I'll go inside and film you everything. All the interesting things that you can see. And the building we have just passed here on the left is a hotel, I think. And by the way, Algeria is currently building lots of hotels, literally hundreds of hotels. According to a statistic I read back in 2015 or 2016, Algeria is building some 900 hotels in practically every area of the country. So Algeria is undoubtedly changing, it's undoubtedly developing, it's undoubtedly growing, and we hope that this would be for the benefit of its people. Algeria is also trying to develop its tourism sector, and look at the sign. Algeria is straight. It's straight ahead. So after we pass that, that roundabout, we've got to drive straight on in order to go to Algiers, where Ben Aknoun is located. Orange buses like these are, university buses, okay? They are university buses, they are student buses. This roundabout here is usually very busy because it's the crossroads between, Ouled Fayet, Del Ibrahim on the left, and Dounia on the right. And of course Algiers straight ahead. So yes, we have managed to, to drive. To enter the roundabout, and now all we have to do now is to leave it in one piece, hopefully. All right, because I can see that lots of drivers around here are impatient. Okay, so let's go. Let's enter the Ben Aknoun Highway, which is also known as the Southern Bypass Road. There we go. So the lane completely to the right. The lane completely to the right, marked with the yellow line, is usually called the yellow lane here in Algeria, and it's an emergency stop lane, in fact. Okay, it's used for emergencies. So this is the entrance to Ain Allah on the right. The neighborhood on my left is Ain Allah, and it's close to or adjacent to the neighborhood of Del Ibrahim. And Ain Allah literally means this God's spring, okay? God's spring. The buildings you see on my right are part of the Sahrawi. This is the entrance to Ben Aknoun. I've chosen to enter it through this zoological park entrance, okay? And yes, all these buildings you see on my left, on my right, sorry, are part of the Sahrawi residential complex or apartment complex. So now, Ben Aknoun is on our left. All right, thank you, sir. So you can see Wedraman and Draria are on the right, and Ben Aknoun is on our left. Great. And the zoological park, which is in fact Algiers' largest zoo, as far as I know, is on our right here. Everything that's behind all those trees is part of that zoological park. All right. I think that the entrance to the park is on the right here. And now, let's go to Ben Aknoun. Great. So, this is Ben Aknoun. That building over there, you know, they have been building that building on the right for years, for over a decade, and it's still finished. I wonder what they are going to, you know, to use it for. The Banacrum Hospital is behind us on the left, and it's in fact an orthopedic hospital for people who have bone conditions, all sorts of bone conditions and rheumatism. And well, this is one of the main streets of Ben Aknoun, which goes through the neighborhood. And in fact, this neighborhood has some residential areas, but it also has vast areas. I think that most areas here in or most of Ben Aknoun's area or surface area is in fact used to host government facilities. So there are you know, universities, there are sporting facilities, there is a hospital, there are big companies, you know, big companies have their headquarters here, and so on and so forth. So most of the surface area of this municipality is in fact made up of government facilities. The bus station, the best bus station, the main bus station is behind us also. It's in the area of the underpass. When it drove through the underpass and, you know, we left it, this is where the main bus station is located. And now we're going to, there is a hotel over there, Ferdi Lili. And you know, the headquarters of the municipality of Ben Aknoun is on the left. Now let's take the right and drive through this part of Ben Aknoun that we haven't visited yet. The Ben Aknoun High School, which is one of Algeria's oldest high schools, is right behind us, by the way. It's at that roundabout that we have just, left. Oh, there is a beautiful park here, I think, on the right. No, that's not a park, but it's beautiful. Such a beautiful place with lots of greenwood and trees and grass and everything. Oh, this place used to be a, there used to be a single road here, and then they widened it in 2015 or 2016, I think. So there were huge works here to broaden the road, and now it has become even better. Although I can see lots of cars parked here in the area. So Algiers is straight ahead. If you want to go back to Algiers or go downtown, you can take the right. And if you want to go to Châteauneuf and Chevalet, you need to take the left. And this is a campus, university campus. In fact, where you see all those buses over there, those are university or student buses, and there is this beautiful roundabout here. So on my right there is a dormitory, university dormitory, and right in front of us, that building over there with big glass windows is the Algerian Ministry of Public Works. So it's the ministry that's in charge with building roads and bridges here in Algeria. And now, I think that the apartment complex right in front of us is Les Asphodel, apartment complex. Ben Aknoun has changed a lot in the last 20 years. I haven't been here in a very long time, and all I can say is that, whoa, it's a completely different country. It is a completely different country, guys. Les Asphodel, yes. So the apartment complex on our left is Les Asphodel, and there is a high school here. I think that it's the Decat High School. I think that it's an international high school. Yes. Great. Lycée International Alexandre Dumas. Yes, the Alexander Dumas International High School. Go ahead, sir. Cross the road safely. And there, right in front of us, Jamiat al-Jazair, or the University of Algiers number 2. Okay. Which is university campus. All right. So this university used to be the faculty of law. Okay, this place here used to host the faculty of law, Algiers faculty of law. But now, I think that it's yes, the faculty of law was moved to another place, to Saïd Hamdine, to an apartment complex named Saïd Hamdine, while here in Ben Aknoun they have brought the Faculty of Medicine. Okay, so we are driving through another part of Ben Aknoun here. Les Asphodel is on our left. The Les Asphodel apartment complex is on our left. There is this mosque here, one of the main mosques of Ben Aknoun. It's still under construction. So as you can see, there are lots of government facilities here. Most of the surface is not residential, but rather rather hosts lots of government facilities. There is a dormitory on my right here, the Talib Abdurrahman dormitory, and this is the Algerian Ministry of Professional Training. And we are back to the headquarters of Ben Aknoun, of the municipality of Ben Aknoun. If you want to go to Algiers, you take the left, if you want to return to Algiers and go downtown via the highway, then drive straight on. So I think that we have reached the end of our trip here. Cross the road, sir, please go ahead. And yes, if you liked my video, please click on the thumbs up and you know, give it a thumbs up and click on the notifications button, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care of yourselves, drive safely, and goodbye.